Welcome. Today is a day dedicated celebration. This is a little character, Toku. But she is my character, and I wanted to make her life-size. It's me. I gathered some fabrics, I gave them a little painty. And this is the transformation of me into her. She has her like orange pants, she has her little shirt, her hat. Last video I had a certain special hat. Welcome to the clouds, Kaomi here. So let's see Toku. And so here I am with my fabrics, some brand new shirts and floppy pants that I possibly imagined to snip and trim into the shirt and pants of Toku's fashions. The shirt was kind of snug and tight, and that's a point to keep in mind. And since I already created, I went ahead and introduced my traffic cone hat. Now, Toku's pants are long and floppy, but not as long as these black pants I collected. So I trimmed them, then got out my orange and white paints to begin those traffic cone stripes. I felt the need to protect my surfaces, as in the opposite side of the pants. As much as I wanted to go crazy with the actual colorful orange, I realized that I probably need to go crazy with the blank white layer first. So I spent a good time of scooping my planned orange craze back into its jar. And then I allowed myself to finally go crazy with the white. So that's one side, and now we flip it to the other. Striped, black and white, zebra. Now, as much as I started on the white this side, I kind of couldn't contain my striping nature, and so I just started doing the orange stripes, even though the white wasn't entirely all the way to the edges. But yeah, my orange stripe traffic cone's coming. And to let that dry, we come across the shirt, which I also stuffed with the skeletal paper, and then gave it a little undercoat. The white was kind of reminding me of a cow. And then it kind of turned into like this spidery, sprawly thingy that I just needed to flip around with its little legs. They were very stiff. Yeah. Now a little more white for the other side, and then I went ahead with the actual colorful color. So she has a purpley and bluey like splotches, almost like as if this exploded, like you just slap a bunch of paint on there, and then it just continues spreading out like the shirt itself is water. Ooh. Although the paint splatter process was more like this. Now the globby mixture, globby texture. I'm trying to say it's like a trial, but then a time, because the other side wasn't. Test trial the globby mixture. It's a mess and it's a chur, like a mixture plus a mess. Now, as I did the other side and transferred the white paint over, it just gave me some little splotches, and that gave me an idea. Oh, you ready? You ready? You ready? We get the blob and we go plow. With pow, ka-chow. It's like, I don't know. Like a firework, sparking in all different directions. Yes. Sent it through the washer, and the washer was somehow like splashing it with paint as it was rolling. Hi. Now I am rather debating which one is the front and which one is the back, because when I chopped it, it kind of went a little bit. Now my white drizzly pattern is only on one side, so if it's on this side's the front, then I need to flip it around. I need to do the drizzly on the other side. Now drizzlies like this need to be very precise, because they kind of remind me of the cupcakes, like when you do like a brownie back and forth, like a frosting drizzle. So I brought out my cupcake book as I did the back side of that, and well, I showed you the reference. This is kind of what I'm going for. You see, you need to go like a back and forth. It's not like a random spiral, because or else it just looks like a big old blob. So you need to go back and forth. Ooh. And for a larger painting surface, I brought down my pants to accompany that shirt, and we started continued painting around the orange and of course the white that was left over. But we have now the other side, the orange stripes. Ooh. So satisfying of orange. And then I did realize I wasn't exactly looking on both sides as I painted around, so technically the orange is just like it's a zigzag pattern. It's like those fabric pants that are not really matching when you look in the front and the back. My pants, they are also striped. You know, someone told me there were skeletons on here. I didn't believe that at first, but oh my gosh, there. And anywho, we have the traffic cone shoes. I use my shoe and a foot for reference for the wideness. And now we slide on in here with some extra paper. Technically, it's like a fan, you know, it's a very hot day. No, it's not. It's really very cold right now, but it's getting to fall time. Oh. Buzz. Well, you could say I'm a washed ashore narwhal. Perfect. And I suppose the rim would go kind of just like around the edge there, and it would be like a rounded rim. Yeah. So that's kind of what we did. Yeah. Just snipped out some squares, then gave them a little circle hollow hole, and then just attached on that little top. The process was kind of like how I made my hand, only without cardboard, but also the top part wide enough to fit around my foot. Now, although my traffic cone hat was made of cardboard, this is made of paper. So I just did a double layer, and it actually was a pretty thickness. Like matching the cardboard. Now Toku has some accents on her outfit. So she has like a little fanny pack base. And so this is kind of like a little part of the shirt. I wiggled my finger around. I don't know. I think I was trying to grab the air. And then we snip it out. And to make the fanny pack look like it has stuff inside of it, I put stuffing in there. Technically, that is stuff. But it's like a cloudy thing. Now I also became a pirate.
Haha. I slice you off with your head and your head. You walk the plank, you go to the sharks, and they gobble you up. No. But when you go to the sharks, they decide that they will revenge on me for sending such a feast to them, which they don't even enjoy because the sharky don't like them. They didn't enjoy that munchy. So they eat my shippy. They eat my shippy, and then my shippy goes sinky, and they think that the boat itself is more tasty than those scurrying around upon it.
And like the pants, we rip out those little papers stuffed inside the armies that were holding up the skeleton. It was a little bit more difficult because the sleeves are more narrow, but yeah. And construction of that fanny pack, we just fold on the little fabric and then glue it on the little corners all around the edges. And there's the foot.
There's a little heel blocked. We might need to rip it. Come on, paper. Do your separation.
My mistake with the shoe was the fact that I did not measure it on my foot. I just kind of wrapped it around. So we did it again. We make a third shoe. This time making my foot very important as the wraparound wrapper. And then a snippy around the base so that we can make the flat square surface. And then a picture frame face, which is my, yes. Ooh. And then I gave myself a little game of these purple scissors. I just tossy. And I was actually trying to aim for the camera. I wanted them to land like close to the camera, like a through and then a swap to the camera, but instead they just went through and plop. And now to remerge myself with myself.
It goes this way. It goes this way. So obviously I'm probably, I could snip off a part of the shirt because technically her belly is supposed to be sticking out. She's supposed to have a crop top.
Now, Toku's original outfit was like a crop top plus also shoulder off, but I didn't do the shoulder off. So instead I moved like that black rim that she has around her neckline to just the neck. And then I made that big puffy thing. Because puffy equals fashionable.
You got me one. Oh no.
No. Oompa monstery trolley because we're turning from green, we're turning white now. So I just got a popsicle stick and started spreading it on there. I can be a traffic cone too. A flexible traffic cone. I basically just shuffled on over it to the dry pants and wriggled out all their inner protectiveness. And then my legs are supposed to fit where the paper was.
Around the rim, and we go cold, escaping into infinity. I do not know how far in it will go. Ooh.
The paper was the bones, and now my legs are the bones of the pants. Now do they fit? Ooh, this is a test trial over top the pants.
Down to her ankles. So these should be like down there.
Now despite the outfits, the decorations, and the fanny pack, there were these two tinsel thingies the pants came with, and I snipped up. I kind of thought they could be like a little side keychain to the side of her pants. I fanned them out, and they actually started to look like a triangle. So I gave them a little base, and they turned into two little triangle traffic cones. Ooh. But the orange and white of a traffic cone, if I make them also orange and white, they're going to be orange and white and orange and white, and that's like a little too camouflage. And traffic cones are supposed to stand out. So I went with the hair and the shirt color. It was the blue and the purple, but instead of blobs, it was stripes. It's like a Toku traffic cone inspired traffic cone. Traffic cones. And I had some extra blue and purple, so I did some little polka dotsies around the fanny pack. Just an extra design of mine, little traffic cone Toku. Maybe you should have some too. And then I returned to perfecting the orange on those shoes and then crashed my camera.
We have with the two shoesies in a very, very good state in matter. These pants went up to here. She has all the way down to her ankle, so I extend them.
So I did bring out a third shirt, and I used that to extend out the pants. Luckily, I had that shirt nearby. However, I ran out of fabric when it wrapped around to the back. Thus, I voyaged into the jungle of a closet and chose my choosing. This shirt. It's a little snippy, and it was another piece added to my monster mix of fabrics. And some swipies of my white popsicle sticks. I did the base. It would have been nice if we did it all together, but the realization of extensions came later. Now, something to do while this thick layer of white dries. So we look at Toku, just this little pursy thingy on the side of her. It's not actually a pursy thingy. It's a Magno keychain. It's in my book of the Craftamundos. The Crafty Construction Girls, yes, the Craftamundos. And that's a keychain of a mini traffic cone. Ooh. It is Toku's magical shape-shifting tool which transforms different sizes. And then I transport you to the oven. Ovens are kind of magical because they heat things up. And with it all baked, we're gonna go ahead and glue out all the little balls together and make a nice little long keychain. It was white, but I gave it more white, which helped the orange and white layers of the beautiful keychain pop out. And as for the keychain, we're gonna keep that hair and shirt match up with the blue and the purple in an alternating pattern. Keychain done, my pants are dry, and we do the orange, the stripes. My beautiful one coat, it is only one side, we have the other side.
Now we got my special package. Aside from my wetness, we got my special package, which weighs 20.1B. I don't think that's a weight. Does this thing say how much it weighs? Oh, 0.7 pounds.
In case you're wondering how much a bush of hair weighs when shipped.
Ooh, that.
As much as I only expected a wig to come out, surprisingly the bag wanted me to become a full-on old lady and gave me a bunch of jewelry and like a necklacey stuff. So Toku's not old. She just has curly hair that's short above her head. It's like a puff of popcorn.
It's a little. It grew. The bush needs trimmed. Mm-hmm.
And to balance such the wig to be painted, well, we put it on a paint can because surprisingly a paint can is like the roundness of my own head. It is the same size. My head is a paint can. I am paint. Well, when I paint, I get covered in paint a lot, so like it could be paint. I very am paint. I'm paint. Yes, I'm paint.
Oh, colorful purple and blue. Oh, uncertainty. Thank you, Wheee. You are a great audience. It claps for me.
I am paint. It better clap for me, considering that I'm covering its entire surface area. And now we glue down the surface area because I don't like all these little curls. My bush needs to be tamed. And hot glue we tame it with. Now, as for those accessories, well, one of the beaded keychains kind of reminded me of my keychain necklace. Despite one being flexible, one other one's being stiff, mine was baked with the magic of the oven. My clay is able to withstand the oven. The plastic would just melt, so mine is more powerful.
get rid of all these extra hairs that like splits all around. They're called flyaways. The flyaways are just go all over the place.
Well, technically I was flinging my flyaways all over the space. But anywho, we also have the horizon. We trimmed the horizon, make it flat. Felt more comfortable as a wig. And with my pants dry, we shoved out all those paper insides, the skeletal bones. Goodbye. This is just my way of saying it's done.
The model, she's walking along her beautiful white runway, not falling off to the audience below. And then there's me.
I may not be as colorful as Toku right now, but
This is I. There is no way this is gonna fit on me. You see, this is why I don't like clothes shopping. I feel like a mermaid. I am a mermaid. And the mermaid has trouble getting up, obviously. But this is my stylistic pants. Now to conclude, my shoes, which technically are supposed to go underneath the pants. I mean, if only this thing was made of fabric, but it is made of fabric. If only this thing was 100% fabric. Actual design, put on the wig. Yes. And then, I use Toku. Almost Toku. I is now Toku. The shirt refused to go on through my arms. It was already small-ish, so yeah. The pants are biggish though, that's why they're able to fit as they shrunk. But I is Toku now. Hi Toku. Hello.
And you are something like me, I guess.
Yes, we are fancy. And now we will fix things. Go to the different hinges on the door. I fix you with my hammer. Pow, pow. Yes. You see my dedication? This is my dedication to that character. My character is me. I have become my character for Toku. And now, let's just lay this out. So that's how I look. That is hair and that is my hair. I like her hair better. Balance an entire traffic on top of her head. And if any big wrecking ball comes and goes kapow, well, guess what? My head is safe. We are safe and secure. Yeah. Down below, my footsies and my legs and my beautiful fanny pack. The black thing in her center, her fanny pack. Stick her hand in there and pull out any tool she wants. It's like an endless pit down there. Only she can control what comes out of it. Because no one else can. We don't want my shirt. We want my outfit. It's not my outfit. There's the outfit. And I go kick, beautiful. And Toku. And inside of the mannequin.
okay, so maybe not a mannequin, a vampire, but a vampire that pukes. Yes. Not exactly sure why that turned out, but this is Toku. The rising of the lights. A little ran.
See you in the clouds. Hang out. Real chapeau.
Up into the sky.
Ciao. What a chow.